Good morning. This is Pastor Jeff. This is our daily lectionary reading for Thursday, February 16th, 2023. Our psalm reading is Psalm 2. Our Old Testament reading is Exodus chapter 6, verses 2 through 9. And our New Testament reading is from the book of Hebrews, chapter 8, verses 1 through 7. And with it being Thursday, we are looking ahead to what is going to be happening in church on Sunday. Let us listen in. Psalm 2. Why the big noise, nations? Why the mean plots, people? Earth leaders push for position. Delegates meet for summit talks. The God deniers, the Messiah defiers. Let's get free of God. Cast loose from Messiah. Heaven throned God breaks out laughing. At first, he's amused at the presumption. Then he gets good and angry. Furiously, he shuts them up. Don't you know that there's a king of Zion? A coronation banquet is spread for him on the holy summit. Let me tell you what God said next. He said, "You're my son, and today is your birthday. What do you want? Name it. Nations as a present, continents as a prize. You can command them all for dance for you, or throw them out with tomorrow's trash. So rebels, kings, use your heads. Upstart judges, learn your lesson. Worship God in adoring embrace. Celebrate in trembling awe. Kiss Messiah. Your very lives are in danger, you know. His anger is about to explode. But if you make a run for God, you won't regret it." Our Old Testament reading comes from the book of Exodus, chapter 6, verses 2 through 9. God continued speaking to Moses, reassuring him, "I am God. I appeared to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob as the strong God. But by my name, God, I am present, I was not known to them. I also established my covenant with them to give them the land of Canaan, the country in which they lived as sojourners. But now I've heard the groanings of the Israelites, whom the Egyptians continue to enslave, and I've remembered my covenant. Therefore, tell the Israelites, I am God. I will bring you out from under the cruel, hard labor of Egypt. I will rescue you from slavery. I will redeem you, intervening with great acts of judgment. I'll take you as my own people, and I'll be God to you. You'll know that I am God, your God, who brings you out from under the cruel, hard labor of Egypt. I'll bring you into the land that I promised to give Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and give it to you as your own country. I am God." But when Moses delivered this message to the Israelites, they didn't even hear him. They were that beaten down in spirit by the harsh slave conditions. Our New Testament reading comes from the book of Hebrews, chapter 8, 1 through 7. It's going to be extended a little bit because we're in the message, but here we go. Hebrews chapter 8. Sorry for the small delay, but it confused me just a bit. In essence, we have just such a high priest, an authoritative right alongside God, conducting worship in the one true sanctuary built by God. The assigned task of a high priest is to offer both gifts and sacrifices, and it's no different with the priesthood of Jesus. If he were limited to earth, he wouldn't even be priest. We wouldn't need him since there are plenty of priests who offer the gifts designated in the law. These priests provide only a hint of what goes into a true sanctuary of heaven, which Moses caught a glimpse of as he was about to set up the tent shrine. It was then that God said, "Be careful, do it exactly as you saw it on the mountain." But Jesus' priestly work far surpasses what these other priests do, since he's working from a far better plan. If the first plan, the old covenant, had worked out, a second wouldn't have been needed. But we know that the first was found wanting because God said, "Heads up, the days are coming when I'll set up a new plan for dealing with Israel and Judah. I'll throw out the old plan. I'll set up the ancestors when I led them by hand out of Egypt. They didn't keep their part of the bargain, so I looked away and let it go. This new plan I'm making with Israel isn't going to be written on paper, isn't going to be chiseled in stone. This time, I'm writing out the plan in the carving of the lining of their hearts. I'll be their God. They'll be my people. They won't go to school to learn about me or buy a book called God in 5 Easy Lessons. They'll all get to know me firsthand. The little and the big, the small and the big. They get to know me by being kindly forgiven, with a slate of their sins forever wiped clean. By coming up with a new plan, a new covenant between God and his people, God put the old plan on the shelf, and there it stays, gathering dust." And here ends our readings for the day.